Fungal infection of this kind is real, but not in humans.
True, fungi cannot survive if its host's internal temperature is over 94 degrees. And currently, there are no reasons for fungi to evolve to be able to withstand higher temperatures. But what if that were to change? What if, for instance, the world were to get slightly warmer? Well, now, there is reason to evolve. One gene mutate, any one of them could become capable of burrowing into our brains and taking control, not of millions of us, but billions of us. Billions of puppets with poisoned minds, permanently fixed on one unifying goal: to spread the infection to every last human alive by any means necessary. And there are no treatments for this, no preventatives, no cures. They don't exist. It's not even possible to make them.
So if that happens,
we lose.
And here we go. It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka Crackerjack Black, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka R2D's Nuts.
There we go. Yep, and we are in 2023, the year of our Lord, Michael Jordan. So we're just gonna keep the ground running. I think we're kind of getting in the mood of what 2023 is gonna be. So far, no crazy shit is happening. You know,
Same old shit.
Same old shit. Yeah, and that's good. That's good. Like I said, at this point, we kind of know what to expect from the 2020s. So we're good for that. Before we jump into it, we do got a bunch of show, but we're going to pay our respects. Not for a celebrity, but, you know, relative of celebrity. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Lisa Marie Presley. Why we talk about Lisa Marie Presley? Because she passed. So, and we want to pay our respects, you know. On this show, I have said some things about her father, Elvis Presley, before. I'm not going to hold it against her. Like I said, she had nothing to do with that. She was just a beneficiary of all the stuff he did, like, you know, most white women, but never mind. Now, the thing is that, like I said, throw a picture up there of Lisa Marie Presley. No, this was her, I think, at the Elvis movie. Mad Max.
Elvis movie. There. There's a Mad Max behind her.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see. I thought I grabbed the Elvis one, so I just talked about Elvis, but now I realized she had Mad Max. But she did show up at the Elvis one also. Like I said, for those who don't know, not only was she the daughter of Elvis Presley, she was also the ex-wife of Nicolas Cage. And she was also the ex-wife of Michael Jackson.
That's what I know her from. I didn't know she was married to Nick Cage.
I didn't know she married Nick Cage either. I was just Googling. I was like, she married Nick Cage. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Throw it on there. Okay. So she was married to Nick Cage and married to Michael Jackson. I didn't know I knew she was married to Michael Jackson. That's the first time I ever heard of her. I didn't know Elvis Presley had a daughter till she got married to Michael Jackson. That's the thing that people keep forgetting about, is that Michael Jackson is Elvis Presley's son-in-law. Like, people forget that little known fact, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
Didn't she? Wasn't she like a singer? Hey, it's Jakey Poo.
I am also Team Eli.
Sweet.
Yep. You said she was on what?
Wasn't she like? Did she like have a song out or some shit?
I think she had like a music career that I paid no attention to. I think like rock bands like that. So that was past me.
I think I heard that.
Okay.
Not the song, but I heard that she did.
Yeah, I think I remember her doing something, but I paid no attention to any of that, you know, because like I said, she's the daughter of a rock star. People just expect her to have some kind of shitty album out. I mean, it's just what it is. Only thing I really remember her from when she was in that Michael Jackson video, You Are Not Alone. Do you remember she was looking sexy as hell in that video?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Of course, that song will never get played anymore because it was written by R. Kelly and produced by R. Kelly. So,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
just learning all this shit.
I'm like a cornucopia of information, but
taking me to the library.
A plethora. But yeah, think about a song produced by R. Kelly, sung by Michael Jackson. Of course, it would get canceled, but but that's all I got to say about that. Like I said, not too much on it. That's pretty much all I knew about it. If she did anything past that, I do not know. That was on her. So Yeah, rest in peace to Lisa Marie Presley. So yeah.
Yes, good journey.
All right. So that being said, let's move into it. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about because something happened, and I wanted to actually review this earlier, but I couldn't because it actually dropped like an hour before we started recording. We're going to talk about The Last of Us. The Last of Us on HBO Max just dropped. I was going to get some gameplay footage on it, but then I started watching the gameplay footage of what I dropped. I was like, ooh, I can't put that. I'm chopping heads off zombies and shit like that. You're definitely gonna get taken out. You're Not Alone is the best energy song. Not even close, not even by far, Jake. Thank you for listening. You got Beat It. You got Billie Jean. You got PYT. You got Thriller. But You're Not Alone is pretty good though. Not even gonna lie. You're gonna talk about The Last of Us. Just what do I think about The Last of Us pilot? Like I said, I have not beaten the second game. Have not even touched the second game. When it comes on PC, I may play it. But the first game, I've beaten it twice. One time on the hardest level, one time with like no hood, survival mode, also like that. I was hardcore in the Last of Us at that time. I was really into
I never beat the first game. I did play the first game, man, for a little while. It's just long. It's just too long.
It was long. The thing about The Last of Us, and it's not just The Last of Us, a lot of Sony games in general, is that it's not that they're long, is that you play for a little bit and they have these really long cutscenes. So you're just sitting there just watching cutscenes for a long period of time. And it's just the Sony games like that. The Xbox games ain't like that, but the Sony game, Uncharted, The Last of Us, Metal Gear, all the games like that, you're just like, damn. And it's so long, your controller dies. So that's how The Last of Us was. But that's okay, because that means that since it's so long cutscenes, you get invested to the story of it, and it makes it easier to translate into a movie, TV show, things like that. So that's why I was thinking, like, if you want to adapt something into a TV show, The Last of Us is perfect, because that's pretty much what it is. It's a TV show where you're just holding your controller and that's it, Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when I'm looking at basically, I'm gonna just get it out the way. What I thought about the TV show is that it's pretty much the video game cutscenes chopped up together, but with real people. That's the show.
A live action video game.
It's a live action video game, but without the controller in your hand. So for Xbox, it's so real for Xbox players out there. This is the closest you will get to playing The Last of Us by watching the HBO show, because it's basically that. It was so. But I actually had fun with it because it was so accurate. I'm like, ooh, they took that scene from that. Ooh, they took that. Like, they were taking dialogue from it.
I saw the clip. I saw a clip of when, like, the beginning when they're in the car, and I was like, oh, I remember this when you're sitting in the car in the game.
When you're sitting in the car and you drive stuff like in the back seat. It's that. It's just that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I remember that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So I know some people that haven't played the video game, like, they may be shocked on some stuff that happened on the show when it comes out. Like, I was shocked when it happened in the actual TV, like, video game when I played it. But, I still had fun just watching it. Oh, that's cool. I'm seeing this stuff like that. They did change some stuff. Like halfway through it was a whole mission in the video game that they cut out. Well, like, that could have been a cool ass action scene. You just cut that shit out just to speed up and get to this part. But I was still into it. There's even some people that were that were in the video game that were voicing the people in the video game that are acting in the show. I'm like, damn, the writer of the video game is showrunner of the show. Like, he wrote the show. So it has that authenticity, the accuracy of it. So it's, that's the stuff I'm missing from other video game things, for instance, like Uncharted. This ain't that. They actually put work and love into this. It ain't just some cap out shit. Or even Halo, where they did some shit that was kind of awesome, and the rest of it, like, why you do that? It wasn't that. This felt like it was made with love. Or those god-awful Resident Evil movies where they made like 20 of them. This ain't that, where you just cranking out shit left and right. This felt like love was in it. Well acted. The action scene put out there. HBO put money behind this. What do we got here? Uncharted with no. Game, yes. Movie, no. Sorry, Jake. I see why you team Eli, Jake. I understand now.
I haven't played that or seen the movie.
It makes perfect sense. I'm not gonna hold it against you. But that's my thing there. So, like I said, I'm not. If you haven't played the game, I'm not gonna spoil. If you haven't played the game, I'm not gonna spoil the TV show for you. But if you play the game, you know how the TV show is gonna go. It's basically exactly what you think it is. Yeah, like I said, you get awesome scenes. I'm trying to see if I got anything else I want to talk about. Like, you know, this is from the game, but you know, they have scenes like this in the TV show that replicated that you're like, oh shit, okay, that's pretty cool. So, like I said, I'm all into it. I'm sucked in. Eli, we now have a new greatest video game adaptation. You know, sorry, Sonic 2. This takes the cake.
Not Sonic 2.
Not Sonic. This takes the cake. It's like, well, Sonic 2. Sorry, you down here now. It's just The Last of Us. You know. But let's see. They'll probably add more stuff like The Walking Dead. I hope not. I mean, I'm pretty sure they will. You got to pad it out some kind of way. But as of what they did right now, it's just a game. Now, not to say it's just cut and paste. They did like delve into some stuff like stuff that they talked about on the show. They went into detail on here, you know. So I did like about that. But it wasn't like they just went completely against the grain or anything like that. Like everything you saw from the video game, it was that, you know. So highly recommend it. My favorite thing on HBO right now. If it wasn't for this, I probably would have canceled HBO now. Because they're raising.
I'm almost about to.
Well, they just raised the price. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I did know, like $1.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is with HBO, I'm locked into.
I kept it for Black Adam.
Really? Okay.
So I could watch Black Adam.
I kept HBO for this shit, you know. Yeah. So that's it there. So that's all I gotta say about that. It's pretty much.
I was gonna watch it. I was like, oh, I got about an hour. I'll watch this real quick. And then I look.
No, it's an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half. Oh, well, fuck it. I ain't watching this.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's basically a movie.
Yeah, I can't. That's what like you're making all these damn movies, TV show that are movies now. Whatever happened to half hour, man? The half hour episode.
This is not a sitcom. This ain't Seinfeld.
Well, it should be.
Oh man, you kill a zombie. Did I do that? You know,
no, but there's a movie. There's a movie called The Girl with All the Gifts that came out a few years back, which is awesome, but it's very similar. That's when I saw that movie. It's, oh, this is like The Last of Us. It's like plant-based zombies or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, and I love it how the beginning, not to spoil anything for you, but they start off the show talking about cordyceps. Remember how like this cordyceps is the scariest shit ever?
Oh,
they start off the show
or whatever. Yeah.
They just have like a scientist or a scientist just talking about it, and you can just hear the air just lift out of everybody's room, just like, oh shit, like oh, and they talk about how real this shit is as of right now. My local theater is showing on the big screen tomorrow night. Oh, I'm jealous, Jake. I'm jealous. If it was, I would go see it again in the big theater. I would, you know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check to see. Now that you brought that to my attention, if it's playing, I'm gonna go see it because if this was playing, if this was during the week, I would have watched it twice. You know, just to kind of like get into it. You know, so yeah, highly recommend it. Go watch it. Even if you haven't played the video game, still watch it because you actually might get more out of it than I did. You may actually be shocked by some of the stuff they did. Me, I'm just like 3, 2, 1. Here comes, boom. That's it. You know, So now we go from the best thing that happened on HBO Max to what some would say the worst thing that happened on HBO Max. Now let's talk about this. So yeah, we're going to talk about Velma. Yes. Yes.
Oh, so this is a show. I didn't know. I thought it was a movie or something.
No, it's cartoon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know. I thought it was going to be like a cartoon movie or whatever.
Like no. It's a TV show. It's a TV show. Yeah. So, like I said, there are people out there that are saying this is the worst thing to ever grace TV of all time. That's what they were saying before the thing came out. They were saying you watch this, make your eyes bleed. You will vomit in every orifice watching this show because it's just that bad. So when I actually watched the show, sat down and watched it, I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad, you know. But that being said, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I have seen worse TV shows. I have seen worse animation than this one. It actually, like, if I was to compare it to another show, it reminds me of Harley Quinn, kind of. The reason I say that is because it kind of has almost like a similar art style.
Harley Quinn's awesome. So
Harley Quinn is awesome, but I'm just saying, like, what they're aiming for. Like they're aiming for. Yeah. Cartoony like that. You can feel it. You can feel like, okay, see Harley Quinn, do that for Scooby-Doo. It's like that. But the difference is with Harley Quinn and Scooby-Doo is that Harley Quinn takes the characters and like take the character's essence and cranks them up to 11. So it's still the character. It's just a heightened version of the character. Velma doesn't do that. They pretty much throw the characters out. These are a whole new characters. And I'm not talking about the race change. I'm talking about Velma's brown and Shaggy's black and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about that. These are completely different characters. Nobody acts anything like they do, you know. and like the closest person who's not anything like that is Velma. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say that everybody's freaking out saying it's woke this and woke that, and they got dark skinned Velma and the gender and stuff like that. I don't care, because to be honest with you, I have no problem with a dark skinned Velma. I've seen dark skinned Velma before. I'm not gonna get in detail where I've seen a dark skinned Velma before. Let's just leave it at that. But that being said, I didn't have a problem with that. I'm just watching because I'm not like a hardcore purist into Scooby-Doo lore. I'll be honest with you. Up until like 2005, I thought her name was Thelma. So I didn't know. I didn't know that Shaggy's real name was Norville. So if you that
I didn't know that either.
That's what the show is. I'm like, why they call him Norville? Oh, that's Shaggy. Okay. So I didn't know that. But the show is doing that. So if you're that hardcore and you know this stuff, then yes, you might get pissed about this. I guess there's plenty of hardcore Scooby-Doo purists out there. Okay.
Enthusiasts.
Fine. Enthusiasts. If you're like that, okay, I get it. Whatever. Me, I'm not into it. Just give me a show. Can you make me laugh? And the show, for the most part, I was just kind of just blankly staring at it. It wasn't like it was bad. I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. But every now and then there was a chuckle. I'm not gonna sit there and say I didn't chuckle at anything. Every now and then I chuckle and I caught myself like, the fuck you laughing at? Caught myself. This is the worst show ever. I ain't supposed to be laughing at this shit. But not gonna lie, some stuff did catch me. I'm like, yeah, okay. James Gunn need to do another movie. Yes, for those who don't know, thank you, Jake. For those who don't know, James Gunn wrote the screenplay of Scooby-Doo 1 and 2. He wrote them. So yeah.
I never saw those. They were.
What?
I remember seeing them. No, I've never seen them, man. Sorry.
What? They're classic. Eli, I'm telling you, they're classic.
Are they?
I know I don't say this often. No, I don't recommend movies
classic.
to you. They're classic. I'm dead serious. They're classics.
I've seen them on.
Yeah.
On. They've been on in the background, but they didn't catch my attention enough to say, "Ooh, I'm going to look at the screen." So.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I grew up with them. I love them. That's my favorite
Grew up with them. Didn't they come out like 5 years ago?
They're like 20.
Is it?
Well, I didn't grow up with them, but yeah, they came out like 20 years ago. But still, I didn't grow up with them, but that was like my version of Scooby-Doo. Like when I think of Scooby-Doo, that's what I think of.
Damn.
Yeah, they're like 2000. Yeah.
Time's flying by.
Yeah. 2023, so like 23 years ago, but yeah, it's old. Like I said, now, and the thing is, this is a fever project of Mindy Kaling. For those who know who Mindy Kaling is, you should know who she is. She was on The Office. Not only was she on The Office, she was a writer on The Office. She was on Minji Project, also like that. She was there. And the thing is, Velma is her. Like straight up her. That's all it is. Like she voices Velma. And that's the thing, like, okay, so people are freaking out that Velma is dark skinned. But honestly, I would feel the way if Mindy Kaling did the voice and she was white doing the voice. I'm like, nah, make it look like Mindy Kaling. So I had no problem with that. Only thing is Mindy Kaling isn't acting like Velma. She's acting like Mindy Kaling. Like that's not how Velma acts, but whatever. Do I recommend this show? No, I don't. I will say this. I will watch it if I remember to watch it. You know how when a show,
even if you did recommend it, I wouldn't watch it.
I figured I wouldn't either. I completely understand that. So it's like one of those shows. You know how sometimes when you watch a show and you be like, I watch it if I remember to watch it, but you forget to watch it and you just stop watching it. That's what this show is. So if I remember to watch it, like if I get a notification from Apple TV or HBO, like, hey, Velma's on, I'm like, because remember how you asked about because remember, Eli, how you were asking, well, you want some more Seinfeld shit, you want some more episodic 22 minute episodes you just get in, get out. Mm-hmm. That's this. Now, if Velma was an hour or hour and a half like The Last of Us, I'm like, fuck no, I'm not watching this shit, but it ain't that. It's like 20 minutes, you get in, you get out. So I'll watch it, Will I be heavily invested?
Do a workout, do some aerobicizing.
Yeah, it's just playing in the background, some shit like that. You're like, okay. Hey, I'm paying for HBO. It's already on there. And if I don't have shit else to do, then I just play it in the background, just whatever. If I remember to do that. If I completely forget, I'm like, fuck it. I'm done. So that's my thing but as far as everybody else acting like it's the worst thing, I do think it's an exaggeration to say it's the worst thing known to mankind. It is, it's not. It's just a show. But I guess if you're a hardcore Scooby-Doo purist and you know Scooby-Doo is, Shaggy is Norville.
You know how the internet is. They're soft out there.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
hella mad soft.
Yeah, everything
Everything's
exaggerated
triggering.
over everything.
Oh, this was so bad. I was traumatized.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with this.
Soft, saggy
I need to
nipple.
see
Yeah.
the Flash in final season to tell me if it's good. Let's not. Jake,
I haven't
Jake,
watched the Flash.
how long have you watched this podcast?
I haven't watched the Flash in years.
I'm the CW guy.
Yeah, I used to watch the Flash.
Yeah,
the first season of the Flash was dope.
10 years ago.
Arrow. 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Arrow. I was all that shit. I was watching Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. Those first few seasons, I was all over that shit. Now I'm on Superman and Lois. But,
which comes back in March. We should have talked about that, but the trailer just dropped right before we recorded, so I can't really say anything about it.
I didn't see it yet.
So, but yeah, it's coming back. I think, Jonathan, they got a new actor for Jonathan.
Oh, that's right.
They recast.
One of them quit or whatever, or was left.
Yeah, something like that. Now, I do have to say this. There's one thing that did irk me. Norville, Shaggy, whatever like that. Not Norville necessarily. That guy right there. I can't stand that guy in general.
I don't know who that is.
I forgot his name.
I'm just way out of the loop, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I just know anytime they need a beta male, he's Hollywood's go-to guy. A black beta male, he's Hollywood's go-to guy. They just go to him at any time. And basically, that's what he is in the show. Shaggy is like friend zoned by Velma. So we went from Ultra Instinct Shaggy that can beat the shit out of everybody and Goku and stuff like that to some friend zone beta male that was about to cut his own kidney out so he can pay for Velma's some whatever. Like, what the fuck, man? That's the type of show it is. So now me mentioning the show and describing the show, now I see why people bitching on the show. Maybe this is the worst thing ever. Now I'm second guessing, But anyway, I will keep going. I'll watch it. However, what I will not do is talk about the show ever again. I'm done talking about Velma on the show. So whether it's good, whether it's bad, one like that, I'm done with it. As far as every other YouTuber going to make, hour-long podcast reviews on a 20-minute show that they hate, I'm not going to do that. Why?
Every week they're gonna watch it.
Every week. I hate it.
This is just the worst fucking woke agenda trash.
5 minutes in, this happened. 10 minutes in, this. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Go watch something that you like. But yeah. So that's my thing. So what
Ben
it is,
Shapiro rolling in his fucking like the fuck.
Like why? Okay, the show sucks. Move on. It's not gonna get better. Like unless it get better, talk about it. But if it's just what it is, and the first time you saw it, leave it alone. Don't talk about it anymore. So yeah. Well, let's see what Jake here got. All right. You can remind me. I mean, you can try. Oh yeah, that was that thing I was supposed to do. But whatever. All right. So I think I have talked enough. Don't yawn. It's on you now. You should have yawned earlier. You should have yawned earlier.
Oh man, I'm tired now, man. What time is it?
All right, so now we're gonna talk about this because we're gonna Eli saw a movie and I didn't do a thing about it, but I'm gonna do something about that.
I got an image. Let me get the image. Let me get it up.
That's what she said.
That's right.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna let you start about it because I don't know what this is, what we're about to talk about, but I'm gonna let you go with it.
Okay, I just saw the new slasher flick released on Peacock called Sick. This is written by Kevin Williamson. For those who don't know, he's the guy who created Scream, wrote all the Scream movies, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and The Faculty, and he was like the hot horror guy, screenwriter back in the night. H2O, Halloween H2O, turned all the slasher movies into teeny bopper soap operas. It's all his fault. I'm blame him.
and you watched this because
yeah, he's the reason why he ruined horror for the 90s. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, right. So you hate watching this. Got you. Okay.
No, I watched it because I saw the trailer. It looked cool. And then I saw, Kevin Williamson. Did he do? No, that wasn't him. That was somebody else. Anyways, I saw the trailer to this a while back, and I thought, that looks kind of cool. I'm going to check that out. And then I saw Kevin Williamson direct. Oh, okay. I know what to expect now, but we'll see how it goes. So this is a slasher movie that takes place right during when the pandemic started back in 2020. This is a COVID slasher movie. It's basically about these two girls from college. The lockdown started, the COVID pandemic started, quarantine, all the colleges everything started getting shut down all over the country. So they decide to go to her parents' lake house or whatever. Somebody's got a lake house somewhere. They decide to go spend the quarantine
cabin in the woods.
Yeah,
Okay.
in this nice ass house on the lake and shit. And then they start getting stalked by a killer with a knife, and violence ensues. And I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with this. This was a lot of fun. It had some really cool, like, the kills were pretty cool. They didn't have a high body count, I will say that, but the kills were pretty cool when they happened. They're pretty brutal. A lot of tension, a lot of like there was a lot of, it basically becomes a chase movie where they're just, like the Terminator, where it's just like being chased through the whole movie and shit. How are they going to get away? And climbing up shit, going through windows and just jumping on the boat, jumping on the raft, jumping on the, just trying to get away. That's what becomes an action movie. And this movie was like under 90 minutes. So it was quick in and out. So like, yeah. Oh, Jake saw it. Looks like Jake
Jake saw it. Okay.
That part. Yes. The beginning kill scene, was pretty cool. But yeah, this takes place during the pandemic. It starts out right away. America is shutting down, and people like in the opening scenes, he's at the grocery store, taking us back to the nostalgia of 2 years ago when the store shelves were empty and, and all that shit. People are coughing, people are wearing masks and shit.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days from 2 years ago. and then guy goes home and he gets murdered. And then we follow these two chicks who go to this lake house, and a mystery killer starts stalking them, trying to kill them. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know. My one thing is like I found it was no toilet paper. I went to Walgreens and found my toilet paper. I'm just saying. The Walgreens and the gas station across the street, they hooked me up during the pandemic.
Okay, because I went to the grocery store. Gone.
Oh yeah, Target was like barren. Yeah, Target didn't have hot dogs. They didn't have shit. But yeah, I got hooked up from the dollar store, Walgreens, and the gas station. They always had shit when I went to. That's the thing. The pandemic for me, I didn't get to see the barren wasteland that everyone else got. Like, nobody paid attention. Not where I was at. Not where I was living. There was constant traffic and motherfuckers just out where I was.
Oh, it got that bad for my town.
I lived right off a freeway. I heard constant traffic.
So you didn't get papers that you couldn't be out at a certain time?
No.
I got that. I had paperwork that said I couldn't be out at a certain time. We had curfew.
I didn't have any of that shit.
I wish I could have kept the paper. I would have showed you that paper on it.
And another thing is, like, I had that. I don't know if you remember when I had that hip injury. I got rear-ended and I had that hip injury. So a couple months before COVID hit, I was already bedridden and couldn't go anywhere. So I was already used to like laying around the house. And then COVID hit, and then I couldn't go anywhere again. So I was already used to being at home for 2 months. I had taken off of work and all that shit. So COVID hit, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just sitting around some more. So I was already used to it.
Like nothing's changed, yeah.
And I never saw like the barren wasteland of the post-apocalyptic, empty cities that I never experienced.
I took pictures, Eli. I took pictures. I wish I could have showed them.
Not around where I was. Like, the only time it got that way around me is when the protests of 2020, when they hit the citywide curfew.
Well, that was the exact opposite. Now you got riots and shit happening.
Yeah, that was when the riots were going on and the protests. That's when the citywide curfew. Then at night, it was like quiet and nobody on the street. But that was only for like a week.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it was funny watching this movie, and it's got this very dreadful, suspenseful like tone where they're trying to make this like the horror of the quarantine. And for me, I don't know. I'm not trying to make light of what happened. I know I'm sure people are still fucked up from it, and and I'm not making light of all the people who that suffered from COVID, who all the people who died of COVID. I'm not making light of it at all. It's just, yeah, I didn't feel like that dread. It was like trying to make this is I don't know if it's too soon for that. It just I guess I wasn't feeling the nostalgia for something that happened just 2 years ago, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, too soon. And not that I'm traumatized or anything. I'm just like, it's just like I guess it was like I wasn't longing for that to go back. I guess. Right. I don't know. It was kind of weird. But once the slasher stuff starts happening, once the movie picks up, it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. My only gripe is the actual slashers. They were just, as you can see, looks just like that. He didn't have a cool look, Well,
isn't that your problem with that guy in the first place? His slashers be kind of generic looking.
Yeah,
like the hook guy on I Know What You Did, and
yeah, sometimes they have a cool mask or they have a cool look. They just look like Antifa,
right?
and the killer was kind of getting his ass whooped a lot. Like the girls were fighting him off, and just like he wasn't like imposing. Where like Jason just comes in and you're fucked. This guy, right. Like I would have kicked this guy's ass and took his shoes. You know what I'm saying? So that was about it. The killers weren't that scary to me. You know what I mean? But it was still like a fun ride. And I will say, yeah, Kevin Williamson. He knows how to, he knows the formula of slashers, and this is just a straight up and that's another thing. There was some predictable moments that I thought, oh, I kind of see what's going on. I can kind of figure out what was happening. I knew because it was set during COVID that the motivation for the killer was going to be something about COVID. So I kind of like figured that out a little bit. So it wasn't this big when they revealed it. It was like, oh shit, oh, you know what I mean? Because this is the mystery slasher. There's all these different slasher sub genres of slashers. You have your supernatural slasher, like Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Chucky, that Candyman, these ghostly figures that rise from the grave that can't be stopped, that just go around slicing people up. They're like supernatural. They're driven by some supernatural force. Then you have your whodunit slasher. Someone's killing people, and then it turns out it's somebody's relative at the end, blah, 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 blah. Kind of like this. This is kind of like that. And they're driven by some revenge. They're out for some sort of revenge, And so this felt more in line with that. The Scream is like that. You find out that the killer is, dude's son and whatever, he's got some, he's pissed off at some shit and he goes on a killing spree. And that's the same case of this. You figure out who the killer is and why they're doing it. And I was like, oh, okay, I kind of sort of, I didn't have it all figured out, but I kind of sort of had a figured that that it was something along the lines of COVID, because it was this COVID themed movie. But so I had a lot of fun with it. I actually enjoyed it. It was short, in and out. It was very fast paced. The kills were brutal. The kills were awesome. Yeah, my only gripe is the killer was kind of a weakling. Not very scary, but it's not breaking any, like, it's not groundbreaking or doing anything original, but it followed the slasher formula to a T, where it was a lot of fun. You if you're a horror fan, you caught references to other horror flicks. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're into horror flicks, if you're into slashers, this is a fun ride. I enjoyed it. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I won't, it's better than average, but not great. You know, it's nothing I haven't seen before, but it was still a fun ride. Like the blues. You know, the blues, they got a certain set of chords. It's all in the style. It followed the formula, and it's just had its own little style, you know. So I had fun with it. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Oh, before we do that, Eli, can you filibuster for a little while longer? I got to do something real quick. I'm not going anywhere. I just need to just talk about whatever. Talk about Silk some more, or COVID, or riots, or whatever.
I'll talk about Friday the 13th. That's what I've been doing all weekend. So yeah, it's our first Friday the 13th of the year. It happened the first month, January. So I'm a big Jason fan. You can't see my Jason mask. I have a Jason mask over there. I'm not lying. I spent the weekend watching Jason movies. And I had a lot of fun. I mean, I'm a Jason fan. I'm a Jason fan because he's like the reject. Jason to me is like an outcast. He doesn't have any friends. He's been bullied. He's kind of like, people like to think like, oh, Friday the 13th movies are like moral, you know, they're all about, you know, morals and teen sex and all that. They get punished for not acting, you know, for doing, you know, having sex and doing drugs, that they're being punished for that. I mean, you could read that into the Friday the 13th movies, but for me, it was all about the reject, the outcast getting back at the popular kids. You know, that's what I like. That's what I took out of it. You know, Jason to me was this bullied kid who basically comes back and takes revenge on the shitty, intolerant world that created him. You know, these kids who come to the woods, they're rich kids. Let's get serious. Anybody who goes out, if you're a teenager who gets to go take their parents' car and go out to some secluded spot in the woods, you're coming from some money. You got some money. You come from some bougie place, and you're partying in Jason's backyard, and you don't even invite him to the party. You know, you don't even offer him a hit off the blunt or a drink, you know, much less get him laid. So he did these rich ass kids thinking they own the place, coming into the woods and partying, and he's like, fuck y'all.
Well said. I was gonna jump in early, but I want to let you.
Yeah, that's all I got.
you were spitting.
I could go on. I could just.
Yeah, I was like, you spitting. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I stopped. Oh yeah. So yeah, Maniac of New York 3. I have not. I read the first arc. I enjoyed it. I've been behind on it. My only thing is like the kills. The kills are like after the fact. There's not a lot. I haven't read the second arc, so I don't know if the series got gorier. But I noticed something about the first arc is like a lot of the kills happened off panel, and it was kind of bloodless. I mean, unless the crime scenes, the cops always showed up and they saw the aftermath. But I was a little disappointed in the lack of kill scenes in that comic. But I did enjoy that first arc, and I just. Man, especially now, I'm on I got to really, hold back on my comic budget, I haven't read that in a while. Nice House on the Lake. That's Tinian, right? I read a couple issues of those.
Yeah, it is Tinian,
and that's a Black Label book too. So that shit's like $5-6 or whatever too. So again, man, I'm just like, ends. Gotta make them ends.
Gotta make it work. Okay, yeah. So like I said, this is the Comic Book Bullies. We're talking about comic books. Yeah, we're at that part now. So we're just gonna just jump into it. Talk about comics. Actually, was a bunch of comics that dropped this week, and I'm gonna talk about. I was gonna do like a whole bunch of them, but I was like, let me streamline this. But I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna see what you got.
Well, since we're talking about horror, should I do my retro review first?
Now, sure. Okay,
I'll get that out the way since we're still on the subject. Like I said, it's been Friday the 13th weekend. I spent like I said, I've been I watched
my bad. I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna get out of here. So just
so I decided to do a retro comic book review, and the retro comic I chose to do was Jason versus Leatherface, which came out in the 90s, late 90s, by
Tops
Topps.
Comics, yeah.
Yeah.
Back when they were a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So this comic, it's a 3-issue arc, and it basically just follows Jason, running into Leatherface and his family, and then eventually them having a fight. But it also kind of gives a lot of depth. What I enjoy about this book is it gives a lot of depth to Jason. Jason has feelings in this book. He has emotions. He has regrets. We get to know Jason emotionally. So it starts out issue 1. There's some corrupt corporation that's trying to clean up Crystal Lake and make it, put up a big factory there and stuff. And they're dragging the lake. They're dragging Crystal Lake and dumping all the pollutants and stuff, the garbage that was in the lake. They're shipping it out to some dump in New Mexico. While they're dragging the lake, they drag up Jason's body. Jason has been, I take it he's been under there since part 7. I think.
So this is canonical. Okay.
If we're going to go by movie canon, he's basically still in part 6 or part 7. He's chained to the rock and, anchored at the bottom, of the lake. And he gets dragged up, thrown on this train full of garbage. And the train is going out to New Mexico to go dump in some landfill. Of course, he awakens on the train, kills the whole crew. The train ends up derailing in Texas. So that's how he gets to Texas. That's where he runs into Leatherface and his family. He ends up killing somebody running through the woods trying to escape the Sawyers. The Sawyers are the Leatherface's family. Kills the guy. They're like, hey. Leatherface and the hitchhiker, like, hey, thanks for help. They end up taking Jason back to their house. So the second issue is basically Jason just getting to know the Sawyer family. They're taking him out, going killing people, hacking them up for barbecue. Of course, Jason don't eat because he's like a super zombie corpse that doesn't need to eat. Just kind of getting to know the lifestyle of the Sawyer family. What he does notice is how the family treats Leatherface. Now, Leatherface is similar to Jason. He's like, he's like a mentally disabled, with physical deformities, doesn't speak. He's nonverbal, kind of a simpleton. And the family kind of abuses him and bullies him. So this starts triggering Jason. Jason starts remembering his childhood where he was bullied as a kid and abused by his dad and all that. So he starts to feel sorry for Leatherface and starts to stick up for Leatherface. In the third issue, he actually stops the older brother from beating on Leatherface. That's what triggers the fight. He starts chasing the dad and the hitchhiker throughout the house. Jason, he's trying to kill the dad and the brother for abusing Leatherface. And he's right about to kill them, but then Leatherface decides to stick up for his family that abuses him and comes in with the chainsaw, and that's where the fight happens. And they kind of, Jason's got his machete, Leatherface has got his chainsaw, and they duel it out for a little bit until the family just jumps Jason, beats him up with a hammer, and they decide to throw him in the lake. They decide, we're going to pay Jason some respect and not eat him, because they were thinking about eating Jason because they're cannibals. But they end up throwing him in the lake. Yeah, they throw him in the lake. Jason, of course, isn't dead because Jason doesn't die. He gets up and says, basically, fuck these people. I'm going back to Crystal Lake. That's kind of where it ends. It's a kind of a dumb, campy, stupid sort of story, but it does give Jason some depth and some emotion, which I enjoyed as a Jason fan. Especially him connecting. When he sees Leatherface being bullied, he actually offers to help Jason, and you get inside Jason's head. He's like, yo, this is the first time I've ever hesitated killing somebody. and it's to help this guy. It's to help Leatherface, who he feels he has a connection with, that he feels they have, they have things in common. They've both been bullied. They're both deformed. They've both been abused by their family. So Jason sort of has a connection, feels a connection to Leatherface, and decides to help him. But when he decides to help him, he's like, "Oh, this is the first time I decide not to kill somebody, and it's because of you. And this is how you're gonna treat me when they start fighting." It's like, "Well, fuck it. Well, let's be some killing motherfuckers then." And they start throwing down. Yeah. So it's very campy and kind of goofy. But yeah, I do enjoy that it sort of fleshes out Jason's character, and the artist again is very cartoony, but these covers by Simon Beasley are dope. But yeah, I mean, it's if you're hardcore into Jason or Leatherface or just horror comics, if you can find it, give it a whirl. It's a goofy, fun, campy read. Leave your brain at the door, which is what I did, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So 3 out of 5.
So when you first read this book back in the 90s, did you have a dog in the fight? Like, were you rooting for one of them to win?
Well, Jay, I've always been a Jason fan. So yeah, I was like, well, fucking Jason's gonna fuck Leatherface up, just because Jason is like this unstoppable force,
right? In your head canon, but yeah,
and Leatherface is just like a human, but it doesn't. It's not just about a fight. It's more about Jason, like I said, feeling sorry for Leatherface and deciding to stick up for him. There's that twist. That's what I found interesting. Even though it's just goofy, stupid,
right? But they humanize these characters. But
it gave Jason sort of a humanity that I didn't expect. More so than the remake, the Friday the 13th remake. They tried to make him human in that, which, I mean, I like that remake. I think that remake, the 2009 Friday the 13th remake, I loved it. Yeah. I thought it was cool. My only gripe is Jason taking that chick hostage, holding that chick hostage, like keeping her in the fucking basement of his, lair or whatever.
Right.
Like, Jason don't take prisoners. He kills everybody. So for him to like take this chick and keep her like chained up in the basement, I thought that was the only thing. I thought that was stupid. Like, no, Jason don't do that shit.
Just out of character. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So first book I'm going to do is Lazarus Planet Alpha 1. That's that. Okay,
the DC.
Yeah, the DC. This is the thing that they've been hyping up. Like, there's going to be the thing that changes everything, and maybe maybe won't. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Isn't this going to be like zombies or something?
No, it's not zombies. It's something. What is it?
Just dead people coming back to life, but they're not zombies.
Not that either. It's it's weird. Remake last Friday.
Remake is the best. I like it, but I think Freddy versus Jason is better than the remake.
I like Jason X better. I don't care. That's just me.
Jason X is cool too. Where is it on my list? Jason X is fun.
I just like.
I like all the Friday the 13th movies except for Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan is the only one that I think generally sucks.
It didn't feel like they were even trying with that one. It was just whatever.
There's like no kills. There's like no blood. There's no humor. Most of them, and I know I'm not trying to like elevate Jason movies and turning him into these art, this high art achievements. No, I know they're trash. I know I know they're garbage.
Sometimes you just want a cheeseburger. Sometimes it's okay. Yeah.
I know it's total sleazy 80s trash. I know what I'm watching. But most of them, they're pretty funny and entertaining, and they're schlocky and campy, and they make me laugh. Except for Part 8, except for Jason Takes Manhattan. That movie makes me mad.
Like, you could just tell they weren't even trying at that point.
I get mad when I was like, damn, this movie sucks. And I watched it again thinking I'm not going to think it sucks again.
Oh, man. All right. So, like I said, it's kind of, okay, I know what happened in this book, but it's hard to explain what happens in this book. First off, we didn't even finish reading or even reviewing the, what was that shit?
Dark Crisis?
Not Dark Crisis. It actually has nothing to do with Dark Crisis. So that was pointless to even read that. It actually has something to do with the Robin shit, the Batman versus Robin shit, because it's written by Mark Waid. So this is the finale of that. So basically, Batman put on like Dr. Fate's helmet, fought Robin, and we're here now. So yeah, the whole plan is fucked up. And let's get into it and see exactly what happened to the planet. So yeah. All right, so we get to Damian is the star of this book. At least it's I don't know if he started the whole thing, he's the star of this story right here. And
The
basically
art
he's
looks
saying
dope. Who is that?
the art is awesome. I don't who
Is that that guy who did the bat cock? What's that dude's name again?
Oh, I know Lee somebody. Yeah, not him. Oh, where is it? Not telling me. Oh, right here.
Batman Damned or
Ricardo
whatever.
Federico.
Is that his name?
That's his name. No, that wasn't the guy. That was like Lee.
That was Lee something.
Somebody. Yeah, Lee something. Yeah, wasn't that? But this is a cool artwork, you know. But anyway, they're in a plane. They're in Tiger's plane. Batman is fucked up. Talia's holding him, and they're in the plane with Black Alice, and Damien's just like, I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix this. He's like, you got a plan? Do I have a plan? Do you know what my father is? So he, even though he hates his dad, he's always bragging about his dad. That's Damien for you. So anyway, they're flying. The skies are green. I'm gonna find out why the skies are green all of a sudden. And Batman's fucked up. So obviously we know who won between the Robin versus Batman fight. But his eyes are green, and we're gonna find out why the eyes are green in a second. So so anyway, they get alert from Supergirl. Supergirl's like, any heroes available, come to Hall of Justice right now. Everything is screwed up right now. Everything's out of control. The entire planet has been hit with a storm that's raining like Lazarus juice. Like it's basically, yeah, like it's literally storming Lazarus. So magic is screwed up. Everything is hitting, is tearing up. Yeah,
is it called juice?
It wasn't called juice. I think I'm just making that up. In my head, it translated to juice. You know?
I thought it was called like oil or something.
Lazarus oil something. But it's rain. Yeah, Lazarus rain.
Lazarus aid. Right.
Lazarus fluid, you know. Yeah, and anyways, Supergirl is telling him, yeah, and the rain is actually fucking up all electronic devices also. So if you get anything electronic, get away from it now. And they realize, oh, we're in a plane. Oh shit. So they're about to crash. And meanwhile, you can see like the Hall of Justice sign, and so about to crash to the Hall of Justice. And that's when they crash, and they, you know, they catch him right when they catch him, and they take him inside. So yeah, they take him inside, and Robin just takes over. He like, okay, I know everybody has questions about what's going on. I'm taking charge. I'm in charge. Everybody follow what I'm saying right now. Everybody's like, wait, what? Now, before we get there, I do want to say this is the first book I've ever read where you have Mary Marvel, Supergirl, and Power Girl in the same book at one time. I find that odd because Supergirl is a ripoff of Mary Marvel. Let me repeat that. Supergirl is a ripoff of Mary Marvel. Not the opposite way how everybody think it is. And Power Girl is a ripoff of Supergirl, so I just find it weird they're all in the same book. But anyway, Robin says, I'm taking over. Everybody follow my lead. And everybody just not looks at him. They look at Batman because everybody used to follow in Batman when some shit goes on. And Batman just says, listen to my son. While he's barely even able to stand up. So they're just like, oh, shit. So, okay, we follow. So Robin tells him, he basically gives him the backstory, everything was going on. Devil Neza is out of control. And the reason it's raining Lazarus fluid is because, when they fought Devil Neza, another bad guy popped up called the Red Bull King. Not the Red Bull King. What's his name? King Red Bull. What's his name? King Firebull. That's his name. Yeah. Okay, so King Firebull has rose from the volcano of Lazarus Island, and it flooded. It caused a volcano so big that it flooded the world with Lazarus rain or whatever like that. And just hearing Devil Neza's name, Supergirl like, oh shit, because she remembers him, you know, from that Batman Superman book that, you know, we reviewed. And so basically, Robin's like, okay, I got a plan. We're gonna split everybody up, and we're gonna split. You guys go to the Tower of Fate because they made me take all the magic in the world and stuck it in Tower of Fate. So I want you to go there and release those guys. And I want the other people to go find Devil Neza because we beat him, but stop the Red Bull King, whatever his name is, he may be able to flip over to our side and help us beat him. So y'all go do that. Y'all go do that. Meanwhile, I stay back in case any other superheroes come here and they recruit. And the Monkey Prince stay with me. So the Monkey Prince was supposed to be like the biggest thing in this book for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, they try to break in the Tower of Fate, but they can't because Power Girl is Kryptonian, so her magic, she can't work on magic. Zatanna can't break into it. Mary Marvel can't break into it. Cyborg and Blue Beetle try to break into it, and that's where they get hit by the Iron King, Iron Bull King, or some shit, whatever, some big monster. Anyway, the Red Bull King put him in front of everybody, so he's gonna fuck everybody up, and they gotta fight him. So that's who they're fighting. And they get their ass whooped. Anyway, Batman and Supergirl and some other people, they fight the Bronze King, who also sent by the Red Bull King, So they fight him, and Supergirl, Power Girl, I can't remember. They the same people. Anyway, Supergirl is just like, I'll fight this guy even though my magic doesn't work, but we'll fight him anyway. So they fight. While they're fighting, Batman and Talia just go inside. Oh, they're at Ra's al Ghul's base because they realize if this got something to do with the Lazarus pits, then they may have a clue here. So they go there and they find Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy in a fight with Devil Nezza.
No.
Right. Can you knock Batman?
That's right. Eat my shrooms.
We all remember what happened with that one, but yeah, so they're fighting. So yeah, and I don't care. There's some shit about Black Alice and the Monkey King doing some stuff. I don't care. Skip. We back to Cyborg and Blue Beetle fighting these people, and Mary Marvel doing nothing. The Iron King just like, man, the rain is hitting harder than you. This all you can do to me, So Power Girl just takes him and just throws him in the sun or some shit, whatever. And they beat him. And meanwhile, back to Skip. That's that artwork. I don't really give a shit what's happening in the story though. But yeah, so they're fighting. They're all fighting Devil Nezza. Batman fights Devil Nezza. Swamp Thing's fighting Devil Nezza. Devil Nezza rips off Swamp Thing's arm. And then that's when Supergirl shows up. Heat visions him. It's like, okay, we got a limited amount of time before we can beat this guy. So they all just jump him at the same time. Poison Ivy, Swamp Thing, everybody, Blue Devil. They knock him out. But they give you a little map all the shit that's going to happen later on or whatever. So they finally break into they can't break the Tower of Fate, and Mary Marvel tells everybody to back up, like, I know how to get into the Tower of Fate. And she says, Shazam, which is going to bring a lightning bolt, which will blast the Tower of Fate, which lets them get in there. So they thought they were coming in to get like some, Dr. Fate helmet and Aquaman's trident and stuff. But actually they were doing was freeing the magic people, because Robin, when he was under control of Devil Nezza, had kidnapped all the magic people. So all you got Phantom Stranger, Ragman, Alan Grant, the Green Lantern. Who's the other guy? Some other people, Claire and Rich Boy. Some people are back there. And meanwhile, while they beat Devil Nezza, Swamp Thing like, is he dead? And Supergirl's like, nah, we don't kill, we just fuck him up. Meanwhile, you see like some mist leaving Devil Nezza, and it attaches to Batman. And now they're like, uh-oh, Batman, is something wrong? He's like, no, everything's right. So now you got Devil Batman. Yeah, so that's the thing. And meanwhile, Robin's just like, uh-oh, somebody's knocking on the door. And that's when you got the Red Bull King is about to kill Robin. The end. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we missed some stuff. It's just like shit just happening in this book. And it's supposed to be an event. I'm like, how are you gonna make an event out of this? This is just stuff happening. But apparently, like, Cyborg and Blue Beetle are supposed to like merge into one and be Cyborg Beetle later on, because magic, timey-wimey, whatever. Okay. So cool art. Yeah. That's all I gotta say about this. But yeah, DC, I don't know. Shoot. But yeah, what you got next?
What's your rating, man? Give it a number.
Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. This, as far as an event, it's not really catching me. It's just shit happening. But cool art. But if they keep the same artwork through the whole event, I'm on board. But other than that, I don't really give a shit what's happening. But yeah. So all right.
Well,
you're doing DC. This one next? Okay. All right.
I'll do Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo, number 3. Mark Silvestri on the scripts, on the art, on the pencils, and all that.
Mm-hmm. On the 1s and 2s.
Mm-hmm. So this is a Black Label book, so it's not in canon. It's its own story. Basically, Batman and Joker have teamed up. Yes, Batman basically kidnapped Joker, brings him back to the Batcave, and puts a hood over his head and chains him up and shit, so he doesn't know where it is. And then he's been keeping him there while there's some weird creatures going around, killing people. And they've taken Jim Gordon. So Gordon has been kidnapped by these weird monsters, tortured somewhere, and Batman's trying to go around detecting what's happening, And this book starts out now. Last issue, there was these, this couple. They're kind of corrupt. They're kind of assholes and shit. Well, they've been trapped in this like death machine where they're hanging over like this grinder, and Batman has to save them. Basically, has to answer questions to save them or choose one or whatever, like a Saw. It's kind of like Saw, and he is trying to save them, but he doesn't save them. Both of them die. You know, it's kind of fucked up. I was like, oh shit, Batman didn't save these motherfuckers, because you kind of thought it's Batman. He always saves the day, right? Batman, because he's the fucking Batman, the goddamn Batman. Well, he doesn't. They both die. So Batman fails, and he takes it hard. You know, kind of a cool. It's not cool that he failed, but it's kind of cool to see Batman deal with failure. You know, this is why he's the Batman. Why he preps for everything, so this doesn't happen. Well, you know,
is this like early in his career or something? Or?
I don't know. I don't know when, but yeah, he's dealing with failure. He's dealing with regret of not being able to save these lives. And then he's detecting something about the DNA of these creatures, and there's that going on. Then somebody in the company he suspects of who's behind this, and yeah. And then this is a scene where him and the Joker are kind of like, hey, we're going to go find. He's like, okay. Batman's pissed off for, like, you know, not saving those people. So he goes and gets a Joker. Like, yo, we're going to go fucking figure this out. You know, kind of grabs Joker and they take off in one of the jets, the Bat jet. Kind of where it ends. We're finally going to fucking figure this shit out. So I think this is how many more issues? Is it just one more after this?
This isn't Black Label?
Yeah, this is Black Label.
Yeah, okay.
So it's issue 3.
Normally 3.
Yeah. So this is one. There's another one.
This is
coming.
3. So
yeah, this is issue 3. So I don't know if it's one more or 2 more. So but no, it's fine. It's pretty cool. I mean, the art, like I said, I love Silvestri's art. And it's just this one was kind of a lull because he's doing all the, you know, not a lot of action happens because he's doing all the investigation. There's all this shit about DNA sequencing and all this crap, and then him suspecting some dude in the company or one of his companies, Wayne Tech's sister companies or whatever, and suspects him and shit like that, and confronts him. And so not a lot of shit happened. It's just sort of a build up to, I'm sure the next issue is going to pick up. Now it's Joker and Batman, you know, on the bum rush. You know, they're out doing shit. They're out to go, you know, solve this thing. So yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, this was kind of a lull, kind of a, you know, it took a break. Other than the beginning when he couldn't save those people, where he's frantic, trying to fucking, you know, stall for time and all that shit, you know. After that, it was kind of a, you know, kind of let the steam out, and it was just sort of a more exposition is all it was. So, but I'm still on board. So, yeah.
Okay. Next one I'm gonna do is X-Men 18. Yeah. The reason I'm doing this because it is a follow of that last story we're talking about, where they freed Lara from the vault or whatever. Then you got 2 Laras running around, you know. So this is the continuation of that to find out what they're gonna do with that. So yeah. And the book starts off as just like a recap of what happened. They freed Lara from the vault, you know, and she got back with Sync, who they've been together for 500 years, you know, in the vault. And basically, it's just bang like rabbits. They don't even worry about, is she the real one? They don't care. Just go at it, you know. And meanwhile, the Quiet Council is just having a debate on what should they do with 2 Laras running around, you know. Meanwhile, you got Sync and Lara, you know, going to a Dazzler concert, you know. And the reason they go to a Dazzler concert because they want to talk to the other Lara, you know, like young Lara, you know. And they just like, you think she knows we're here? They're like, yeah, the wind blew, so she knows we're here. Like, she's a Wolverine, so she can smell us, you know. So like, hey, kiddo, like, what you calling me kiddo for? What, you think I'm Gabby? She's like, I'm 500 years old. All of you Gabbies to me, you know. And she just like, she smells something. That's when she's attacked by vampires. Now, if you haven't been reading X-Men at all they do is fight vampires nowadays. Why are they so obsessed with vampires? I do not know. they just fight vampires forever. You know, so anyway, they're at a Dazzler concert. Apparently, vampires are attacking a Dazzler concert. You know, so they go there and they see Dazzler, and you got Boom Boom and Jubilee in the background. So yes, this is a X-Men Exterminators crossover where you got Boom Boom and then you got Jubilee doing pop pop. You know, meanwhile Dazzler on roller skates. You know, and they just having fun, just killing vampires and shit. You have been bedazzled. You know, and they just stare at each other and old Laura is, you know what, old woman Laura. Make that a book, Marvel, if you haven't already thought about it. But yeah. Anyway, old Laura just like, look, we need. I understand you having fun killing vampires like that, but we need to talk. You know, look, while I'm killing vampires, just come with me. We'll do this. So they out there having fun. Jubilee put a Santa Claus hat on. They just going this, and she sees the two Laura. She's like, hey, you with the hologram hat on, you got to be from the future, right? This must be some X-Men time travel bullshit to be normally going on. And while she's looking at her, old Laura just like Wolverine stabs her bubble gum. She's like, oh, that wasn't cool. You know, so they keep walking. And the two Lauras can sense, you know, the vampires in the room. They're like, the vampires everywhere. They're surrounding us and we need to take them out. So they just like, look, we're going to go take them out. Y'all stay back. So, and because they want to talk it out. They want to have a conversation while they go kill some vampires. So they go in there. Oh, I don't care about this shit. Anyway, the X-Men save some of the Orcish terrorists who've been trying to kill them for the last 3 years. And like if they rescue them, then they can probably, you know, maybe not want to kill them anymore. But anyway, you got Laura back to back and they're trying to have a conversation. So like, okay, so what do you want to talk about? You know, so basically what I want to talk about is that we need to lay down some ground rules. You know, if something happens, you know, she like, first you want to know, like, why aren't you surprised that I'm here? So like, well, first off, when they told me you were dead, they didn't show me a body. And that was a pretty cool scene where you got one Laura chopping one top of a vampire, old Laura chopping off the bottom half. I thought that was pretty cool. And she was just like, look, I didn't see a body, so you ain't dead. I know how I'm a Wolverine. I know how Wolverines are. If you don't see a body, you ain't dead. So it's like, so I knew it was only a matter of time before you came back, you know. And she just like, now you know, if something happens to one of us, they're only going to resurrect one of us, right? And she was like, I didn't think about that. And the old Lars is like, yeah, and they probably going to resurrect me because I'm older and I know more stuff than you. So they're probably going to resurrect me because you're just a liability. She's like, well, that's cool. I don't plan on dying anyway, you know. So, and then they're just like, just back to back, they kill all the vampires and they just have it out. So they basically say last thing. She's like, oh, one last thing. I'm Wolverine. You call yourself something else. She's like, you can have Wolverine. I've been Wolverine for 500 years. I'll get another name, you know. Oh, and last thing, we're not friends. As a matter of fact, I don't ever want to see you again. This is the last time we ever meet each other. She's like, well, I ain't want to hang out with you either. You know, bitch. You know, she ain't say that. I just added that, but yeah. So they right, she should have said that, but the comics code, you know. So anyway, Julie's like, hey, Sync, you want to join the Exterminators? And he's just like, if I did, I'd be the star of the show. And then he pops her bubblegum also. She's like, y'all some I hate y'all, you know. So they go fly off. They're like, hey, what y'all gonna do? Hey, we got some more X-Men shit to do. So we're gonna see y'all later. You know, meanwhile, they just go straight to the treehouse, take the clothes off, and start banging like rabbit skin. You know, so that's all they've been doing ever since then. And basically, Quiet Council just decided, hey, she's in the group. She's there. She wants to be there. She's cool, you know. And what else we got here? Oh, and then the book ends with Corsair, you know, Cyclops and Havoc's father. And he just like, kids, I'm not going to make it a Sunday dinner because we got jumped and the enemy got the jump on us. And I'm on my last round, but you got to be careful because the enemy is on their way to you too. And that's when you see him with a pregnant belly with a brood sign on him with the brood in the back staring at him.
Oh, is he pregnant too now?
Yeah. Woke.
What the fuck?
So the end. So yeah, so look like he's gonna die. They might bring him back. Like I said, they probably clone him too. But apparently there's gonna be a brood arc coming. So yeah. What do we got here? So the X-Men is the new Blade. Yeah, they just love fighting like the Wolverine book. That's all Wolverine does is fight vampires. Like, why y'all can't do nothing else? Nothing else? So
yeah.
But that's it. So I just want to see what they're gonna do with. I thought they were gonna like kill one of the Lars or something like that. But they was like, nah, let them run around, let them do whatever. So you got two Lars. Make an old woman Laura book. Marvel, it's right there. It's right there. So yeah. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. It's cool. I just want to see
Cool.
what's going on. So
All right, let's see. What do I got next? Well, one left. Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Let's see.
Ghost Rider.
I love that cover though. I didn't see the inside of it, but I love the cover.
So this wraps up, or at least I guess kind of sort of wraps up the exhaust arc or whatever arc we've been on. I don't know. That's what it seemed like it was trying to do. Yeah, kind of a lot of crap happened. Okay, I'll get into it. So, anyways, what's been happening is like Exhaust. Exhaust is like this new character. It was like a demon, the dark side of Ghost Rider or whatever, inside Johnny Blaze, kind of possessing him. Wolverine. I reviewed that book where Wolverine basically
the backdoor alley surgery on him,
sliced it out of him and shit. So now Exhaust is just out there, fucking shit up. Now Blackheart is trying to bring hell on Earth, and then there's the counts, the night magicians or whatever, I forget what they're called. A bunch of magic folk are trying to stop him. And then there was an FBI agent, like this gothy psychic FBI agent, kind of like the X-Files, like kind of searching for Ghost Rider, for Johnny Blaze. She ends up teaming up with Johnny Blaze in the last couple issues. They go to Chicago, where there's all this concentrated evil underneath this cathedral, this big giant church and shit. And they end up taking a subway train. The Ghost Rider jumps on the train, turns it into a ghost train, all on fire and shit. And they go to like this underground lair of where there's all these demons and shit. And that was like the last issue. And Ghost Rider shows up, pulls out a chainsaw, a flaming chainsaw. He's like, all right, let's go. And that's where this issue picks up. Like, cool, battle. Ghost Rider with a flaming chainsaw versus a bunch of fucking demons. Pretty cool for the first, 2-3 pages that it showed. But then the book starts going all over the place. We go see what Blackheart's doing. He's trying to bring hell on Earth, and he's possessing people all over the country. And then fighting those magicians. What else is happening? Oh yeah, what's her face? The FBI agent is possessed. It just kind of jumps all around, kind of convoluted, and kind of jumps through all these like stories. So you don't really get to see the fight between Exhaust and Ghost Rider. It kind of like happens really quickly. He somehow beats his ass somehow, then goes to Blackheart and sends him back to hell. And then they go back, the chick goes back to the FBI and says, yo, we got all this evidence of all this fucked up shit happening. And the FBI guys, nope, we're not gonna, you're off the case, And then the FBI goes down to whatever secret lair, science lab. And it's like, we got to do plan B or whatever. And, because they're onto us or whatever. And then the last panel says, okay, we'll go with plan B. And it shows this big giant contraption, and in the chair is Danny Ketch. So the government has Danny Ketch. Now,
has he been in this run?
No, not in this.
This is the first time showing up. Okay.
Yeah. So they got Danny Ketch. The government's doing some shit to Danny Ketch. So
they are related, right? Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch related?
No, I don't think so. No.
I thought they said it in maybe in the 90s.
Maybe like
shit,
some brother. I don't know.
I think they did, and then somebody was like, "Nah, I don't like that," and then probably just took that shit out. So yeah. I don't. I may not be disgraceful now. So yeah.
Or yeah, maybe some connection, but no. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of felt like it kind of felt anticlimactic. Like, oh, we finally get to see Exhaust versus Ghost Rider, and it's like really short. It cuts away, and then it tries to wrap up this Blackheart shit really quickly. Like Johnny Blaze shows up and just like kicks his ass real quick. And then we go to the FBI. It's just like all this, they tried to wrap up all these like storylines. I felt like it just wrapped it up too quickly because I've been all over this book. This book has been awesome. It's been like a monster of the week, like every week or every month. He's going to another place with all these monsters and demons and shit. And now he's in Chicago where all this concentrated evil is going on. And he fights all these demons. Like, okay, giant battle, Ghost Rider versus, monsters for an issue. But, it went all over the place. So I was kind kind of sort of disappointed just in this issue. I don't know what, now they're introducing Danny Ketch. You know what I mean? Like they had all these storylines building, and then they kind of just like wrapped it all up in one issue. And now they're bringing Danny Ketch into the fold. So I don't know. I'm a little disappointed, because I was super into this. There's like been all this build up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
didn't quite stick the landing. So.
Yeah, but I'm still digging the book. The art is cool. It's like got some really cool horror shit. Demons possessing people and demon worms crawling down people's throats and fucking possessing them and shit. It's got some cool like body horror imagery and shit. And like of course here's the splash page of Ghost Rider just fighting demons with a flaming chainsaw. So it's cool. It's shit and shit, but yeah, they just kind of half-assed this ending. At least this issue, wrapping up this anticlimactic battle. So yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. All right. So last book I'm going to do is Black Panther number 13, and I say this one for a reason. This is the reason I say this for last.
You said you were gonna. Yeah.
It depends on how I feel when I do this. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Damn, that's it. I couldn't find it. Anyway, so this, like I said, this book is almost done. This book is almost wrapped up completely. And like I said, this is Black Panther. He's on the run. Lastly, we didn't review the last issue he was on, but anyway, he's got kicked out of the Avengers. So he's out of the Avengers. He's been kicked out of Wakanda, like an arc before, and now he's making an assault on this guy that's supposed to be trying to shut down the internet, who's Wakandan also. So let's just get to it. I think I should just skip to the part that I hate. I hate most of this book, but let's get to the part that I really hate. Anyway,
I mean, I even dropped this book after a while. I mean,
I did, but I'm trying to see it to the end to see if my hate is worthy of being hated. And I don't want to just hate on shit. I get it. I'm a masochist for reading this book, but anyway. Anyway, they're just doing a flashback of when him and the girl and the guy, they all made this pact about how they were gonna never see each other again, and they're gonna be these sleeper agents and all the stuff like that. Even though,
yeah, I remember that.
That thing about this whole thing. So they're saying they never see each other again, even though those two started hooking up and having sex with each other behind T'Challa's back, and he didn't know it, And yeah, that's it. So anyway, he thought that guy died, but he's not dead. He's back, and he's the one taking over the internet, and he's got this rogue Wakandan agency that's doing it. He's just saying, and I guess T'Challa escaped in the last issue, and he knows that T'Challa's going to eventually come back because he's T'Challa, and he already knows he's alone. He didn't have the Wakandan army behind him. He doesn't have the Avengers behind him because they all kicked him out. So he's basically going to try to fight me by himself, and he knows he's going to win if he's coming, but he's hoping he just doesn't fight him. Just let him do his thing, because basically he achieved world peace, which he always wanted anyway. So T'Challa instead he got all the people he gathered that he's made friends with doing like this run, like the Buffalo Soldier and who else? Some other people too. Anyway, they're all going to make an assault. It's like 3 people that made an assault. Oh, Gentle, that Toshin dude, Wakanda, that dude that's got vibranium skin or whatever. So all the people are with him, and they're going to make a rush on them, Meanwhile, while they're on their way, they're formulating a game plan on what to do. They get attacked. Well, the Buffalo Soldiers get attacked by Captain Marvel. She blasted the ship, so they got to crash land into the bottom of it, so they're out. They also get attacked by Captain America's shield, just hits them, takes their ship out, so they got to crash. And Shuri gets hit by Thor. So all 3 ships are done. They're out of there. So they're all about to crash, so brace for impact. So they land, and that's when, they got to fight each individual Avenger, So they all step out, and Thor's are like, oh, y'all ready? Let's go, And Captain America's about to fight the Buffalo Soldier, But we don't see any of that. We just see this, and this is shit that pissed me off. Let's get into it why it pissed me off. Because you got Black Panther and Captain America about to square off each other, and they're basically talking shit to each other the whole time. They just like, T'Challa's like, oh, this been building up for a while, Steven, So they get ready to go at it. Captain America runs at him. Bam, smacks the shit out of T'Challa. He tries to fight back. Captain America blocks it. Like, nothing he's doing is working. He's just smacking his shit out of T'Challa, takes him, and when they try to get help, he's like, this between me and Cap, stay back, So that's when Cap grabs T'Challa and just starts beating the shit out of him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, and then knees him in the face, knocks him out, and because basically trying to say that he hadn't recovered from the Buffalo Soldier. He still got his ass whooped from there. He's like, so how you expect to take out that dude that's taking out the internet, and you can't even take me? And that dude has a whole army. He's like, I'm gonna do what I must. So he tries to stand up again, and he's like, fine, let me whoop your ass again. So right before they go at it, they get stopped by Namor. Namor jumps into it, and he thinking he's better because Namor is also in the Avengers. Also, he thinking, I gotta fight Namor also. But Namor's like, no, I haven't come here to fight you, T'Challa. I've come here to help you. And that's when he turns around, and it's the entire Atlantean army is going to help him to fight that dude that's taking over the internet. The end. Now, here's the thing. Here's the problem where I had with this book. Okay. Hold up, before I get there, let me collect my thoughts. Okay. The artwork is badass. I gotta give him credit. The artwork is badass on it. But that being said, I said something nice about this book. Here's the problem I had with this book. Now, I don't mind T'Challa getting beaten. I understand the rule that Stan Lee made is that the writer is the winner of any comic book story is whoever the writer wants to be. I get that. My problem is, why is T'Challa getting his ass beat this entire run? He hasn't got to win off anybody. The Buffalo Soldier beat his ass. He got beat by somebody else earlier. One of the War Dogs. Captain America beat the shit out of him. Now, I don't have a problem with Captain America beating the shit out of him, but in my head canon, like I said, we all have our head canon. I'm thinking Cap and T'Challa about equal. So if you want to have it where they go back and forth and then Namor jumps in and break him up, I'm cool with that. But to just have Captain America just mollywop him and just like wipe the floor with him, no.
Well, it looked like T'Challa just led him too. He wasn't even fighting back.
No. That's the problem. That's the thing. He was trying to fight back. It wasn't like he just sit there and just let him stop him. No, he was trying to fight him, and he was getting his ass kicked. Now, even if he didn't want to fight back, I understand you not want to fight back and you want to do that, but you don't get your ass whooped either. Defend yourself some kind of way. You don't let a dude just beat the shit out of you. I'm sorry. This is not my T'Challa. I'm sorry. The whole run has not been my T'Challa. He's been just weak as fuck. He's been indecisive. He's been getting his ass kicked left and right. It's just too much wrong shit. This is what's this guy? John Ridley? This guy? Mm-hmm. I blame him. Everybody want to talk about Tennessee Coast has the worst run in Black Panther. No, it's this guy right here. It's making me wonder about him. Does he have an agenda against Black Panther or T'Challa? I'm starting to wonder about this. They already killed T'Challa in the movies. Are they trying to do a character assassination in the comics? Because he's already been kicked out of the Avengers. He's got 2 issues left before this run is done. So we could just be done with T'Challa and we won't even see him again because he doesn't have his own solo comic. He's not in the other comic. Like, what are we doing here? Like, do they have a memo out to shit on T'Challa like they did with the X-Men and Fantastic Four back when Fox was doing all that bullshit? Are they doing that with T'Challa now? Because it makes me wonder. And if he is doing it, shame on you, John, really. Because it's making me wonder. I mean, it makes me wonder, are you an agent? Are you working for the other side? I mean, it makes me want to call him something I never called a black man before. The shit he's doing. He's a jive turkey. This is some jive turkey shit he's doing right now. Because you're doing all this wild shit, you're doing this, having to get his ass whooped. That's my thing. If you want to have him beat, but not getting his ass whooped, getting his nose bloody, busted up by Captain America.
You're the
second. That's weird for Captain America even do that.
You're the second person I've heard someone calling someone a turkey in a couple of weeks.
Okay, we're trying to bring it back, Eli. We had a press conference. Black people had a conference. So
I watched the movie Wildcats. I don't know if you remember the movie Wildcats with Goldie Hawn and Wesley Snipes, where she's coaching the football team and shit.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s. I was watching that, and someone all right, turkeys. I was like, damn, that's an old school turkey.
Now, the thing is, we used to call people jive turkey. Jive turkey was some serious shit. You had to square up right then.
That was an insult.
That was a serious insult.
That was an insult. Call someone a turkey.
Exactly. So now, like I said, I don't use that term lightly. I only call somebody a jive turkey when they do jive turkey shit. This is some jive turkey shit. If he has a memo from Marvel to shit on T'Challa on purpose, and he's carrying out that order, Yeah, you a giant turkey. I'm just saying what it is. So that's all I got with this. I'm gonna continue reading this book just to anger myself more, just so when I shit on this book properly, I have the term to do this. But I don't want anybody else to read this shit, pretend like it's done. I don't know what this got to be a mandate from Marvel. I desperately feel like it's a mandate from Marvel. So that's just me. I don't know. Shoot. What else you got?
I'm booked out.
Yeah, I hate to end the podcast on this. This took all the wind out of my sails just even reading this shit. But yeah, if you're listening this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. We'll have some new shit coming on. The reason we didn't review the Ant-Man trailer because the Ant-Man movie will eventually come out. We'll just review it.
Y'all already did anyways.
Yeah, we already did it there. Y'all shit on MODOK.
Y'all already talked about it all week. What do we do?
Yeah, we're late to the party, you know.
Like, Ant-Man movie's coming out.
Yeah. But we are the first to talk about The Last of Us. It dropped this week, so we're ahead of that. So yeah. But we'll find some more stuff to talk about next week. We'll see where it goes. Oh yeah, happy Martin Luther King birthday. Nobody wish Martin Luther King a happy birthday today. You know, well, I know it's yesterday.
Today? Or is it yesterday? Okay.
Well, technically both days, because it's technically yesterday, but we don't observe it until today. Because the day is the big holiday.
Day off tomorrow?
No, I work tomorrow. But I think it's time and a half. I got to take a look at that, make sure. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
That's my motto, pop bottles. I rock with bosses and coppers. A walk and check, I'm the lotto about my chicken and waffles. I roll my weed like a flottos. It ain't no season, no stems. I wear them Keith and James Brims. Rich niggas sitting on M's. There's plenty of paper that's doable. Check my background, it's musical. I grew up around meds. Pharmaceuticals, not the feds. Living life on the edge. Unpredictable where it's headed. I said what I said and I'ma keep it where I said it. Solidness is embedded, my DNA and genetics. And I don't listen to rappers. Their music ain't got no message. Making that fatty. My specialty being broke ain't my pedigree. Like an old western movie. I like to drink and get whiskey, bitch. That's my...
I ain't trippin', getting to the chicken, that's the mission, nigga, that's my motto. She picked me, she hit the lotto. She can ride if she hot though, nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my
nigga, look, fuck around and your shit took. Read a book, I kick ass, I'm Bigfoot. I said observe and curve, I'm like a fish hook. I'm in the suburbs swerving with your bitch look. We burn rubber, me, her, and her lover. That's my motto, hit the lotto, pick a number. I'm feeling froggy, might jump in the bitch throat. Fucking with doggy dog, nigga, that's all she wrote. Don't be talking money, but you always broke. You can get the backwood or the pistol smoke. Let me handle my business, nigga, back up in this bitch. Captain Crip and don't miss the
I ain't trippin', getting to the chicken, that's the mission, nigga, that's my motto. She picked me, she hit the lotto. She can ride if she hot though, nigga, that's my nigga, that's my
yeah. You know,
nigga, that's my nigga, that's my
yo, yeah. You know my MO, double T.O. I ain't checking in, tell my P.O. I'm in Rio with a Creole and her homegirl. We a trio, I'll deliver your fucking liver on the platter. Reconsider fucking with Jack Tripper, who ain't looking for a zipper, who ain't looking for a stripper. Nigga, looking for 10 figures, yep. I only fuck with the realest. Snoop Dogg with the Crips. Bodie with the lingo, show with a bitch.
I got a lot of bitches and I'm fucking them all. They in my office, like platinum plaques on the wall. Too short, but I stand tall. My favorite word, bitch, I'm about to call. Hey, I don't sell dreams, I give hope. Smoking my weed is like smoking dope. Hanging out with me is like a fantasy. The wildest little chick can't handle me. I only spit game, I don't say whatever. And when I get dressed, just spray the colors. I feel like I could do anything. Just gotta keep that positive energy.
I ain't trippin', getting to the chicken, that's the mission, nigga, that's my motto. She picked me, she hit the lotto. She can ride if she hot though, nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my nigga, that's my Nigga, that's my